Okay, let's smash another one. So we have to simplify that, and we have to write that as a single fraction in its simplest form. So, looking at this, I bet you that if we factorise the bottom line, one of the two brackets will cancel with the top. It always does. When you've got something on the top and a quadratic on the bottom, they've set it up so that if you factorise this, you get a lovely cancellation. So let's do that. So this is equal to, I'm going to leave the top alone, and we're going to factorise the bottom. Okay, we've got 3x squared. Well, that means it can only be 3x and x. Now, as usual, we want two numbers that multiply to give minus 12. Okay, these two numbers here. And they have to add to give minus 5, except it's slightly more complicated this time because that's not just x squared, it's 3x squared. They have to add to give minus 5 after one of them has been multiplied by minus 3. So just write a little minus 3 there. Right, so let's think up two numbers that multiply to give minus 12. Well, 3 and 4 do, so let's try that. But one of them has to be multiplied by minus 3, by 3, to give the minus 5. So let's try multiplying 3 by 3. And we get 9, and we leave the other one alone. Can we combine 9 and 4 with pluses and minuses to make minus 5? Yes, we can. Okay, we got lucky first time. This is it. It's going to be 3 and 4. Because minus 9 plus 4 gives you the minus 5. So that's great. So we want this one to be minus. So therefore we go back to this line and it's going to be minus 3 and plus 4. Right, so which way round? Well, it's the 3 that gets multiplied by, it's the minus 3 that gets multiplied by 3 to give the minus 9. So we want that to be there. And the other one is plus 4. Okay, we've done it. Let's do a quick check. 3x times x is 3x squared. Now we've got minus 9x plus 4x. That is indeed minus 5x, so that's correct. Plus 4 times minus 3 is minus 12. Yes, it's correct. Good. And look, we were right. We've got a 3 minus x on the top and an x minus 3 on the bottom. Okay, we can't cancel them yet. We've just got to do a little thing with the top, but did I just gob on the screen? Anyway, I don't think the camera picked that up. Right. Let's pretend that never happened. So we have... Right, so now we have to deal with this being 3 minus x and that being x minus 3. Right, here's the little trick we're going to use. We're going to turn the top into x minus 3 by factorising, sort of factorising. We're going to pull out a factor of minus 1. So we're going to leave the bottom alone, 3x plus 4 and x minus 3. And we're going to pull out a factor of minus 1. Because what that does is change the sign of all this. Because if we change the sign of all this, we get that. So that's what we want. So minus 1 times what equals 3? Minus 1 times minus 3 is 3. Minus 1 times what gives you minus x? Minus 1 times x gives you minus x. And we've done it. Minus 3 plus x is the same as this, as x minus 3. So we can now cancel that and that. So that's done. We're left with minus 1 on the top, and we don't need the brackets anymore, 3x plus 4 on the bottom. There you go, that's the answer. Right, next one. Okay, write this as a single fraction. Now, if it was something like 2/3 minus 4/5, it's the same sort of thing, just with x's instead. What would you do with this? Well, you know, with fractional subtraction, you have to write the bottom as the same number. You have to have the same denominator for both terms, is what I'm trying to say. So what would we do in this case? Well, 3 and 5, multiply 3 by 5 to get 15. It would be something over 15 minus something else over 15. You make the bottom the same. What did we multiply 3 by to get 15? Multiplied by 5, so that's what we multiply the top by. 2 times 5 is 10. We multiplied 5 by 3 to get 15, so do the same with the top. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay? So what we did with that, you do exactly the same with this. So we're going to rewrite it as, we multiplied the 3 by the 5 to get the 15, so we just multiply that by that, and that's our denominator. So the first term is going to be over that times that, which is x minus 1 times x plus 1. X minus 1, x plus 1. Exactly the same with this one, minus that times that. X minus 1 times x plus 1. Good. Right, same thing. You ask yourself, what did I multiply this by to get the bottom? You multiplied x minus 1 by x plus 1, so you do the same to the top. So you multiply x by x plus 1. And again, what did I multiply this by to get that? I multiplied it by x minus 1, so I have to multiply the top by x minus 1. Good. Right, now we can go in a number of directions. I think it would be nice now to write it all over x minus 1 times x plus 1, and the top is going to stay the same. Right, now that minus there, be careful here. It works like that. It's minus 1 times the whole of this top line. But in this case, luckily, there's only one term because everything's multiplying. It's x times the bracket. So we can just write it like this straight away. If there's another term up here, if the top was something like x times x minus 1 plus 3, that minus would also be multiplying the plus 3, and it would become minus 3 here. But we don't have to worry about that in this case. Right, okay, moving on. So I've left the top alone. I've just written the bottom all over the single denominator because we're allowed to do that. It just looks neater. Going back to the number example, we could rewrite this as 10 minus 12 all over 15. It's the same thing. Right. So let's multiply out the top. So we're going to leave the bottom the same as, we could multiply out the bottom as well at the same time. Yeah, let's do that. Right. X times x is x squared. X times 1 is plus x. That minus belongs to that x. Don't forget that. So it's minus x times x, which is minus x squared. And minus x times minus 1 is plus x. Okay. Now we multiply out the bottom. X times x is x squared. X times 1 is x. Minus 1 times x is minus x. Minus 1 times plus 1 is minus 1. Okay. Right. Well, let's look at the top. X squared minus x squared. Gone. Plus x plus x. 2x. Right, the bottom. Plus x minus x. Gone. Leaving us x squared minus 1. That's it. That's as far as we can go. That is this thing written in its simplest form as a single fraction. 2x over x squared minus 1.